Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be sitting down and talking about my top 10 tips for traveling overseas. If you didn't know, I am currently living overseas in Germany, so I feel like through the 2 years we've lived here, I've learned quite a bit about what to do and what not to do when traveling overseas. So I thought I would make this video for you guys, set it out there on the table so you learn before you get here, and just share some of the things that I've learned along the way. If you're interested, don't forget to click that subscribe button down below and let's get started. A lot of people would say things that I felt like were a little bit over exaggerated, and maybe that's because I live here now, so it's different than just traveling, but I figured I could add my 2 cents into this so that you can kind of get a better idea of maybe the middle ground of what people are saying online and like kind of exaggerating, and what I'm saying and kind of like find a middle ground. So my first tip is to do your research, which is very basic. Obviously, you're doing your research by watching this video, but know your basic currencies, accessibility, know some basic rules. The US and Germany, at least Germany, I know multiple other countries that I've been to are different in like basic rules. So just be aware of those things before you get there so you can blend in where you can. Number 2 is it's not always about fashion. I know that's like a thing nowadays, is like to go and get all the Instagram pictures and everything like that, but be comfortable as well. Bring good walking shoes. If you feel comfortable walking in sandals for miles, then go for it. But if you're more comfortable in something like sneakers, I would highly recommend doing that. You can find a middle ground between looking really cute and getting cute Instagram pictures while also being super comfortable, because it is likely that you will be walking more than a few miles a day. You're always welcome to take taxis, and they have like limes and birds and scooters and stuff like that now in pretty much all of the bigger cities that we've been to. Some of the smaller cities have them as well, but I would always recommend walking, because whenever you're walking, you're able to stop and you're able to like look around and look at the things that you went there for. Like, I feel like it's more of a way to get your money's worth, if that makes sense. So bring comfortable shoes and be prepared to walk a lot. My third tip is to be safe, but not overdo it. You don't need to buy all of the things that these like travel stores and things like that encourage. You don't need like the fanny pack thing that like fits under your clothes with your cards and stuff. Like, you can carry around things that you would normally carry around, but just be cautious of what you're doing. Don't feel the need to like completely be on edge all the time, if that makes sense. From my experience, the best way to be as safe as possible is to blend in as much as you can. So like I said in the first tip, when you do your research and you learn about currencies, you learn about basic rules, like jaywalking is not a thing over here. At least in Germany, you don't just like cross the street whenever you want to cross the street. You need to cross the street when it's a green light. Those kind of things help you to not look like a tourist and not look like someone that people would want to steal from. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Number 4 is don't overdo it with the outfits. I know I kind of mentioned that with the walking shoes. If you take away anything from this video, it's just try to blend in. When you Pinterest or like Google or I don't know, do any kind of research about like fashion of certain places, the only way that you're going to get the accurate information is if you're following or listening to people who live there or who are from there, because a lot of times when you Google stuff about like European vacations, it's like a lot more overdone, and I feel like living over here has taught me that fashion is a lot more casual than you would think, so don't overdo it. Number 5 is to learn a few words from the language. My biggest recommendation is thank you, hello, goodbye, please, a few numbers, but it's not necessarily needed, but it means something. Like, it says something that you're willing to learn the language. If the only thing you learn is, do you speak English? I feel like it's gonna be, I don't know. To me, it's just like more of a kindness thing to learn a few words in the language that you're going to, like in the language of the country you're going to. But I think that may be just a preference for me and kind of like a respect thing. Number 6 is a big one, is go to local restaurants. This may be just a me thing, but I would rather go to an American restaurant in the US than go to an American restaurant in Europe. There are so many local restaurants and so many local coffee shops. Just a lot of things are very local, and I would highly recommend going to those restaurants. I do feel like you're gonna have a better experience. You're gonna feel more immersed in the country and like what people eat. And obviously it benefits a smaller company if you're going to a local restaurant rather than like a large chain, especially like an American large chain in Europe. The only exception, the only exception, I would say, not because I support the company necessarily, but McDonald's has different stuff on different menus for different countries. So if you're like interested in seeing, like, I don't know, if you like need a snack, going to McDonald's to kind of see what kind of different things they have is a really cool experience. But other than that, eat local and shop local. Number 7 would be to find a hotel that is close to the city center. The best way to do it is to set a budget for yourself for the nights, depending on what you're kind of like the average of what you're getting, and something closer to the city. So you might be spending a little bit more money to be closer to the city, but it will be worth it because you're not having to take taxis or pay for scooters or anything if it's in a walkable distance. There are 100%, there are affordable hotels in the city center. I promise. If you book it with plenty of time in advance, you will absolutely, I would guarantee that you will find a hotel that is in decent distance to the city center. Number 8, yes, water is not free everywhere. It is free some places in Europe. Some random restaurants have water for free, but typically you will be paying for water. So my recommendation, bring a refillable water bottle, fill it up in the hotel, and bring it with you. If you're trying to cut costs in like little ways, of like little things, bringing a reusable water bottle and filling it up in the hotel before you go out, and if you happen to go back to the hotel in the middle of the day, refill your water bottle and take it back out. It'll save you, I don't know, maybe $10 a day. You never know. Number 9, trains are everywhere. I personally, this is just my personal experience and preference, I personally would not get a rental car to travel to from one city to another within Europe. There's trains everywhere. Some of them are really, really long, depending on how far you're trying to go. But between trains and planes, personally, I don't think you need a rental car. Rental cars are expensive, and gas is expensive over here. So take a train. And number 10, the reason why I came up with this video and this idea is because I felt like when you look up travel destinations, there's also a trend going on about like Instagram versus reality type of thing. Don't expect every place that you visit to be like the Instagrammer that you saw go there like 6 months ago. Travel bloggers, Instagram bloggers, vloggers, everything. Influencers in general want you to see the best sides of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's their job. That's like what they want you to do stuff. They want you to go places. They want you to buy things. So they make it look really great. Don't expect everything to look as it did on Instagram. As somebody who is on YouTube, I make travel vlogs. Like I make vlogs. I video my life. Like my life is on this channel. Take time to look up from your phone, to spend time away from vlogging or posting Instagram photos. Take time away from that because traveling overseas costs a lot of money, and I'm trying to get every penny worth. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to pose perfectly for photos so that whenever I upload them, everyone sees how amazing my life is. It's more of like, I just want to capture that moment. I know that's not how everybody thinks, but I just recommend taking time away from your phone, away from feeling like you need to like post stuff all the time or have the perfect pictures or have the same photos as influencers and things like that. I know it's like not as important to everybody else, but as somebody who does this all the time, it's so important to look up from your phone, to not vlog everything, to not have to share everything, and just enjoy it like in the moment and enjoy the experience. That's the point of traveling, and the point of traveling overseas. It's expensive. You want to enjoy every moment. So put down your phone, enjoy your times, take your pictures, but don't stress too much about making it look exactly like an Instagrammer. First of all, they do that for a living. Second of all, it's going to take you forever to get that. Third, Photoshop, okay? So my two biggest pieces of advice are blend in as much as possible and don't feel the need to make your trip look better than it is. Like, just experience things in the moment, take photos, enjoy it. Enjoy the money you're spending. So that is everything. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have anything positive to add to the conversation. I would love to hear it. Don't forget to click that subscribe button down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Enjoy your travels.